is it kind of fun to be going back more or less to what your coaching roots were? That's what the style you came to Florida with?
Well, I think you're always trying to make adjustments and put your team in the best situation to be successful. And certainly in the last few years, I think with our depth in the backcourt of really Irving and Kenny Boynton logging so many minutes, it made it very, very difficult, for us to extend the floor like we needed to. I do think because we have speed and quickness in our backcourt, we really need to, try to get up the floor and be more of a full court defensive team. And that's not to say that we do it for 40 minutes, but I'd like to do certainly more than we have in the past. I think anytime you get into a situation where you're pressing like that, you've got to have depth in your front court. And right now, that's probably one area that we don't know what kind of depth we're going to have, because every guy in our front court right now is being put into a completely different and new role than they had a year ago. And I think all those guys are excited and anxious about the opportunities in front of them. But defensively, I think we do need to use our speed and quickness and try to be somewhat disruptive and try to utilize the depth we have in our backcourt.
Really, last year, a few years ago, you talked about Kenny Boynton as a freshman fitting in with his teammates really well. How's that process gone with Brown so far, and what have you seen from him as far as the training?
Well, the one thing that I'm excited about, and also I really don't have a lot of answers about, is this is the first time these guys have played together. I think if you look at last year's team, I think everybody pretty much knew with 5 starters coming back, what the starting 5 was going to be, how we were going to play, and talked about Patrick, coming off the bench and helping our team. Same thing with Scotty and Casey and Will helping our team. But really, this is a team that has a lot to develop going forward, because although Irving and Kenny have played a lot together, there's going to be three other guys on the floor they've never really played with, and vice versa. So our chemistry on the court has got to be something that gets developed very, very quickly because of the strength of our schedule and how competitive it is early. And that's going to take a lot of work, because I think our style, so to speak, or some of the things that we'll do offensively will change, some of the things we'll do defensively will change. And it's going to be new for everybody, so to speak, going into the season. I think the relationship and the chemistry away from the practice court between all those guys is very good. I think there's a great deal of respect. They all like each other. But I think it's different when you step on the floor. Now you've got to try to utilize each other's strengths as a player. And I'm hopeful that through starting practice here this week that we'll be able to kind of work through some of those things and get better and improve.
What should be kind of reasonable expectation from him? He is coming in as the number 3 overall recruit in the country, or what?
Well, Brad is a very, very unique kid, and I would say he's probably as mature as any freshman I've had come in here. In terms of, he's got a really, really good understanding of team chemistry. The one thing I admire is that when you have a high-profile player come in, when there is a level of humility and respect and understanding, there were some guys here before you arrived that have been successful and have had the opportunity to accomplish a lot of different things throughout their career. Brad's not the kind of guy that's coming here, I'm taking your job, I'm starting, he's not that way at all. He really understands the importance of chemistry. He understands the importance of being unselfish. I think Brad, maybe more so than anything else, I'm going to need as a coach to push him to even be more aggressive than maybe he is, because I think he is very conscientious of fitting in, being part of the team, and doing what he can do to help our team. But right now, with really no practices under his belt, he has no idea, what is my role? How am I going to be used? What position am I going to play? Who's going to be? He doesn't know any of those things right now, because those things will get answered as we start to practice. But